Don't be afraid of flying in the Bravo, and don't be afraid of doing arrivals. They're a great tool to help you get into busy airspace, and I'm going to show you a couple of tips that's going to help you shoot these visual approaches and give you a leg up when you come into busy airspace. Y'all come check it out. Welcome back to the Cockpit at 210, fellow aviators. We're about to blast off out of Georgetown on an IFR flight plan to Addison, Texas. Going to run up there and see a great customer of ours. And we have got our arrival loaded in. We're going to do the Jaeger 4 arrival into Addison out of Georgetown. So you guys come along and check it out. We're going to taxi out, get the run up done, and we'll see you in just a second. Georgetown Ground Centurion 6048 November at Cutter. I have information, Mike, looking for IFR to Addison.
Centurion 6048 November, Georgetown clearance, cleared at Addison Airport. You'll have radar vectors for DART as filed. Climb maintain 3000 initially to expect 7000 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 120.87, block 7426.
All right, 604 November is cleared to the Addison Airport via radar vectors DART, then as filed, climb maintain 3000, expect 7000 minutes, 120.87 and 7426 for 6048 November.
Centurion 48 November, we're back correct.
And as typical of Georgetown, got a little bit of traffic up ahead of us today.
Centurion 6048 November, turn right heading 100, runway 36, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 36, turn right 100, 48 November.
Centurion 48 November, turn right direct DART intersection.
Right direct DART for 604 November.
275 Kilo Mike, fly runway heading, runway 36, clear for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff on 36, flying runway heading for 15 Kilo Mike.
Centurion 48 November, contact cost departure 127.22.
48 November's going to departure 12722. Change that frequency on me. Austin departure Centurion 604 November is off of Georgetown, 1,600 climbing for 3,000 direct DART.
604 November off departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 7,000.
Up to 7,000, 48 November. Going IMC.
Austin Airport information, Yankee, turn right 103018 altimeter 3024. Centurion 48 November, contact Gray approach 134.35, good day.
134.35, 48 November, good day. Good morning, Gray approach, Centurion 6048 November is 4,000, climbing 7,000.
Centurion 6048 November, Gray approach altimeter 3028.
3028, 48 November.
48 November, traffic no factor. Also looking at your flight plan here, did you want to go to Waco or did you want direct Cedar Creek for the Jaeger 4?
I'll take direct Cedar Creek for 48 November.
November, clear direct Cedar Creek for the Jaeger 4.
Direct Cedar Creek, Jaeger 4, 48 November. This is why I suggest you guys carry a Leatherman in the airplane, or I'm a MacGyver guy, so I carry my handy dandy Swiss Army knife. But this lens on that sun visor has come loose. It's vibrating a little bit, and with the sun where it is, it's really getting in my eyes. But now, I'm just gonna take my handy dandy MacGyver knife and tighten that up. Tighten that thumb screw. There we go. Still shaking a little bit, but that's a lot better. Coming up on 7,000 feet, go ahead and start slowing that climb down. Remember, we want a nice gradual level off. So gentle that your passengers couldn't even tell that you transitioned from climb to cruise. Looks like we found that sweet spot that we saw in our weather briefing. Got net zero winds, true airspeed of 162 knots and a ground speed of 163. I'll take that.
6048 November, contact Waco approach 126.12, we'll see you.
126.12 for 48 November, have a great day. Good morning, Waco approach Centurion 604 November's level 7,000.
November 6048 November, wake approach, Waco altimeter 3029er.
3029er, 48 November. Gonna get a little bit of actual in today. That's always fun.
November 8 Charlie Singham, maintain best port speed of 5 mile final, still clear approach. Maintain approach speed and clear final approach. 3 Charlie Tango. Alright, Charlie Tango, just confirm maintain best forward speed to 5 mile final. Best forward speed to 5 mile final. 3 yeah.
That brings up an interesting point. Best forward airspeed to 5 mile final. Your single pilot IFR,
eastbound,
shooting an approach, and you receive that instruction. What do? I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to maintain the best forward airspeed that I'm comfortable with for that approach I'm flying.
6,500 level Bonanza.
That's where you've got a faster aircraft behind you, but you do not let that other aircraft dictate how you fly yours. If they need to go around and go into a hold, that's what they'll have to do. I do believe in being courteous. I do my best to get out of people's way, stay out of the way.
Center now 135.37 today.
But I'm not going to compromise the safety of me, my passengers, just because air traffic control didn't slow someone down soon enough and they're trying to stack someone else in on the same approach I'm shooting. So work with air traffic control, but don't let them fly your airplane. Looking at the weather at Addison, it's showing winds 050, 12 to 17, so pretty stiff crosswind. We'll be landing to the north. Make sure we're on our A game. We're 12 minutes from our turn. It's the Cedar Creek VOR, and that's going to be direct Jaeger. And then if we don't get any instructions prior to Jaeger, we depart Jaeger at 315. I've got that instruction written in on my low en route chart. Just go over and use the marker tool, turn that on, and you can make any notes that you want to make on your map. I want to thank everybody that came to the Aeromock Wilco booth at Sun and Fun, said hello. It was great meeting you guys. I really enjoyed chatting with you. A lot of you took time. I asked you quite a few questions about what you liked about the videos. And one of the things that I kept getting continuous feedback on is you guys like seeing how I set up the cockpit. So I'm going to try to do a good job of kind of explaining how I do things and keep pointing those little things out, because that seems to resonate with you guys, and you like to know how I set up the airplane and my workflow and that sort of thing. I get a lot of comments why my iPad is over on the right. It works for me really well. Number one, I kind of like having it over there. That distance works good for me and my eyeballs. I do have a backup GPS here on the yoke that's been installed for a number of years. It's hardwired to my GPSs in the panel so that it cross-fills. So that occupies a space right in front of me, and that's my navigator of last resort. I have the iPad over there for referencing my charge, approach plates, and that sort of thing. From there, on the Garmin 430, I'd like to keep it on the nearest airport page when I'm in cruise flight, and that way, God forbid anything should happen, I can look at a glance and know exactly where the closest airport is and the direction I need to turn to get there. I had a great conversation with several people on Facebook the other day, and we were talking about the glide ratio of the Cessna 210, and it's about 1-to-1 is the general consensus among 210 pilots. Is for every 1,000 feet above the ground, you'll go about a mile. And so you don't have a great glide ratio. You need to be looking for the first suitable off-site landing spot that you can find and navigate to it and set up to land, because you're not going to be able to stretch your glide very well. One other thing, the consensus is that unless we're right down to the last second and we feel like we have hard pavement underneath us, we're going to land with the gear up. There's no reason to risk flipping over or breaking something off and putting the aircraft in a dynamic position when we can just belly land the airplane straight ahead and take what we have. The other exception to that rule is if I have my off-site landing spot picked out and it looks like I'm going to overshoot it, I can put the gear down and flaps down to increase my drag to make sure that I make my landing spot.
November 48, November, contact Fort Worth Center 126.72 today.
120.72, 48 November, good day. Fort Worth Center, Centurion 604, November's level 7,000.
Number 6048, November, Fort Worth Center, Roger, Clitrick, Jaeger, the Dallas level number is 3033.
3033, direct Jaeger for 6048 November.
So we're direct Jaeger, we're going to go back. We're going to go flight plan, touch Jaeger, and then hit the direct 2 button and activate. We've got GPS steering turned on, so it's going to go ahead and make that turn for us. Heading of 004. That is expected based on, if you look at the chart, props expect Jaeger 6,000 or 7,000.
Number 48 November, contact launch approach 125.2.
125.2 for 48 November.
Affirmative, see ya.
Good morning, approach Centurion 604 November's level 6,000.
604, 8 November, welcome, plan on the visual 3-4, Delta's up.
We'll expect a visual, and we'll get Delta for 48 November.
Aspen Airport Commission Delta, with observation, time 1445 Zulu, wind 05017, visibility 13, sky cloud below 12,000, 72.01, altimeter 3034, visual approach in use, landing departing 134, all before arrival to Aspen, contact Lone Star approach on 124.3, for operator clearance, order before flight following, contact route on 121.6. All notice airman taxiway alpha between taxi lanes.
Lone Star approach, Centurion 604 November has Delta.
Thank you.
We have our choice. We can load the ILS 234 or the RNAV GPS 34.
Roger, about 10 miles, radar service terminates, clock VFR.
Let's go with the localizer. ILS localizer, excuse me. So ILS 34. We're going to do radar vectors.
1115, maintain 6,000 and approach 23.9, I'll see ya.
And load approach. 110.1, make that our active frequency. Missed approach instructions, climb to 1500, straight out, then climbing right turn to 5,000, heading 067 to the CBE VOR and hold. Radial 046, correction to CBVOR DME radial 046 to finger intersection and hold. 895 are our minimums.
The altimeter here is 3033, cleared into Bravo. Start your VFR descent down to 3,500.
So we might get
down there by NS.
instructions to go direct to North or Porter.
Yes, 910.
Not a bad idea to go over and review the procedure for the RNAV GPS 34. Porter is the same one. And Yodan or Kefti may be additional waypoints that we fly to. So we'll be listening to the radio for any of those waypoints, because a lot of times they'll tell you fly direct to a waypoint on an approach to get you in sequence to land. Even though it's a visual approach, because you're on an IFR flight plan, they will oftentimes reference IFR waypoints. So familiarizing yourself with those waypoints on both approaches will be beneficial. And I've never been able to discern if they always pick the ILS or they always pick the GPS. Sometimes it goes back and forth.
Number 48 November, turn left heading 340 and maintain 4,000.
340, 4,000, 48 November.
48 November, contact approach on 124.3, good day.
124.3, good day, 48 November. Approach Centurion 604 November 5,200, descending 4,340 on the heading.
Centurion 6048 November, Lone Star approach, good morning, sir, the visual approach 23-4 at Addison.
We'll expect a visual 3-4, 48 November. So at this point, I've pulled about 3 inches of manifold pressure back to 25 inches of manifold pressure for this descent. And when I level off, I will not put that back in. We're getting close to the terminal area. We're going to have to add flaps. We're going to have to add gear. So
Variant 3 Bravo, Bravo, climb, maintain.
Having that 3 inches of manifold pressure is just going to make all those steps that much easier.
Number 48 November, turn left heading of 310.
310, 48 November. We're 300 feet to go. So what I've done now is I've activated my number 2 nav.
48 November, let's go, let's go 10 right.
10 right, 48 November, that'd be 320.
Yeah, wind's pushing a little farther left, I thought. And 48 November, are you able to proceed direct to Porter?
That's affirmative, got it loaded up.
Proceed direct to Porter, 48 November.
Direct Porter, 48 November. So we go to flight plan. Direct 2, and activate. 8.
131 Papa Alpha, traffic, 11 o'clock, 10 miles eastbound, altitude indicates 2,000, type unknown.
So we were given direct Porter. That's why it's important to review those waypoints.
4,000.
It's fortunate because Porter is on both the GPS and the ILS. So now we're direct Porter. I've got my number 2 nav tuned in.
So November 48, November, descend and maintain 3,000.
Down to 3,000 for 8 November. And we want Porter at 2,000. So again, I've got that number 2 tuned to the ILS.
Honda Jet 7 Juliet Tango, traffic.
Got it on VOR localizer.
Westbound Southwest 737.
I do have the correct ILS frequency tuned in.
7 Juliet Tango, maintain visual separation with the 737, descend and maintain 4,000, keep the speed after next in the sequence. And Centurion 6048 November, descend and maintain 2,000.
Down to 2,000 for 8 November.
Caution, TFR ahead.
Thank you, Gladys. We are squawking and we are talking.
Honda Jet 7 Juliet Tango, contact Addison Tower 16.0, good day.
26.0, he was also good. Here you go.
Flying a Honda Jet, she's yawning. Good for her. I think she's got it under control.
Centurion 604 November, Addison Airport, 1 o'clock and 15 miles.
4 November's looking, always have a hard time seeing it though.
It is always difficult coming in from that angle.
Alright, so we're going to give you
604 November, contact Addison Tower 16.0, good day.
4 November's going to tower, good day. Addison Tower, Centurion 604 November is on the visual 3-4.
Tower 6048 November, Addison Tower, continue approach. Traffic will be holding in position.
Continue inbound 48 November. Alright, so we're going to go into Porter. Go ahead and kick that autopilot off.
Wind 100 at 7, gust 18.
Almost at our maximum crosswind component, so we're going to have to be on our toes. Alright, there's Porter. Get our flaps coming in. And our gear coming down.
Tower 52 Alpha, descend at pilot discretion. I'll call your base turn. You're going to be following jet traffic, 7 miles south on the base.
Got a wheel, got a green.
Descend, you'll call our base, looking for the traffic, 52 Alpha.
Wind 090 at 8, gust 12.
Got a big wind correction angle here. That beeping's telling me there's an obstacle. There's a hawk. Went right under the wing. That's exciting.
2 mile final runway 34.
Thank you, Gladys. This is going to be a flaps 20 landing.
Tower 48 November, runway 34, you're clear to land. Wind 080 at 7, gust 12.
Clear to land 34 for 8 November. Go ahead and get those props full forward.
November 1 Papa Alpha, turn right at Foxtrot, cross the hold line to contact ground.
Right at Foxtrot, cross the hold line and contact ground, 131 Papa Alpha.
Tower Falcon November 131
Traffic on runway 34.
34, we're slowed up.
Tower 131 Lima Golf, Addison Tower, continue. Traffic will be holding in position.
We'll slow up and we'll continue when they would go.
Tower 52 Alpha, you're following jet traffic 1 to 2 o'clock, mile and a half.
Yeah, we got that traffic inside 52 Alpha.
Tower 52 Alpha, follow that traffic, caution wake turbulence.
Follow that traffic, caution wake turb, 52 Alpha.
Thrust 526, runway 34, line up and wait, jet traffic, 4 mile final.
34 line for wait, that's 526.
Wind 090 at 8, gust 12.